Well, hey there, neighbors. Come on in. How are y'all doing? It's me, Angie. It's time for our neighborhood chat. And we have my girl, Miss Southern Belle, who I love dearly, and I'm so glad she made it. She said I actually made it. I'm so glad you made it. Y'all need to check Miss Southern Belle out. She is a true Southern Belle. She wears the big hats and she does unboxings and she does shopping trips. She does coloring. She does crafting. She's into the diamond art right now. She's doing little diamond arts. You know, the ones that can make magnets and keychains and things like that, which I think would be fun. I think because it wouldn't take so long just to do one, and you do, and I can't wait till Berkeley gets old enough for us to do them together. I think Berkeley would really love to do it. And we have Craft by Jay. Welcome in, Jay. Look what I have sitting on my desk. Craft by Jay. He made this. He makes cards. It is awesome. He made this. Look, on the inside it says hello. I have it sitting right here on my desk so I can see it every time I come in here. I just love it. I just love to be around people that are crafty. I don't have that talent. I don't have the crafty talent. Thank you for coming by, Craft by Jake. Y'all go check him out. His channel name tells about, what he does. He does crafts. I think he does coloring too, if I'm not mistaken. I think he does. I'm pretty sure he does. Y'all, I've got to tell y'all a story of why my hair looks like this and why I look like I do. Y'all are not going to believe what happened this morning, but I'll share that when more people come in. Hey, Mr. Doggity Dog, how are you? Has nothing to do with my internet. My internet's working fine. There's my twin Claudette. She and I were just over at it's auction time. It's Francine. It's auction time with Francine. I forgot how to say her name. Francine's. Anyway, we was at Francine's auction with Matt, with Scrap with Matt, and Claudette and I were over there. Hey, Leon. How are you? Thank you for coming in. So I'm gonna have to tell y'all the story about something that happened this morning. If it's not one thing, it's another. And I've got to the age now where it doesn't really upset me. I just kind of laugh at it when something new happens. And my daughter and son always say, how come you and Dad don't get upset when something goes wrong? Well, we probably already lived through it. And we probably already know it's not as bad as it seems. But every time something happens to them, and we just say, it's okay. That's why you have insurance. That's why you have medical insurance. That's why you have car insurance. That's why you have house insurance. Just don't sweat over stuff happening. It's going to happen. There's beautiful Picky Nikki. How are you, sweetie? I'm so glad you came in. Okay, so let me tell Lucinda, welcome in. Y'all have to go over there and check Picky Nikki out because she sells at first, and I've told this story before. At first, I thought she just had an auction with Ella. That's how I met Nikki. Well, come to find out, Nikki has her own auctions. She does her own thing. And I got on my best Gigi ever t-shirt. But I'm glad you caught me too, Nikki. So let me tell y'all the story. Okay. There's my friend Lori. Welcome in. About 2 weeks ago, Taylor called her dad and said, I have water underneath on my slab underneath my flooring. Where is this water coming from? He said, what room is it in? She said, it's in our bedroom a little bit, and it's in Lincoln's room a little bit, and it's in Lincoln's closet. And he said, okay, where is your air conditioner? And she said, it's on that side of the house. He said, okay, what has happened is the little tubing on your air conditioner has stopped up, and the condensation from your air conditioner is coming back into your house. You need to you need to go out there, and I'm going to explain to you how to unplug it so it won't spread any more water. So she and Brent do that. And so she has to call her insurance to get them to come out and give her an estimate on how much it's going to cost to replace the flooring in her bedroom, Lincoln's room, and a little bit down the hall. Well, in the meantime, they call this company that comes in and has these big running fans that dry up make it dry, So they make really, really loud noises. So she didn't want Lincoln out there with these fans running, and it has to run for 3 days. Hello from Russia. Welcome in where there's no drama, no bullying. No drama. But welcome in. But anyway, so they come out here to stay. Hey, Naz, welcome in. So they come out here to stay with us for a few days while those fans run in their house for a few days. Okay. So they come out here. Well, they just went home. So I get up this morning. I don't have Lincoln today. Thank goodness I don't have Lincoln. And I noticed by 8:30, I've been up since 4:30. I noticed by 8:30 that my air had not kicked on. My central air had not kicked on. I said, we set that low last night. Why hadn't it kicked on? So I go back to my air, and it said it was 77 degrees in my house. So I said, James must have bumped it up when he went to work this morning. Let me bump it down so it'll come on. Well, I bumped it down. Nothing. It didn't come on. I said, what is the deal? So I turned it off. I've never had to turn it off before. I said, well, maybe it's hot and it needs to be turned off and turned back on. So I turn it off, turn it back on. Well, I go to my bedroom, and outside my bedroom is the unit. Well, I hear the unit making a sound, but not the same sound that it makes all the time. It's a different kind of hum. And I said, oh no, something's wrong. So I come back and I cut it off. So I called my cousin who owns an air conditioning business. And so I called him. I said, look here, I know I'm not number one on your list today, but something is wrong with my air conditioner. And James is not here. He's at work. He said, I'm coming. It wasn't 10 minutes. He gets here, and one of his buddies that he has working with him. And they look at it, and they open the place here in my hall, and they said, the motor has gone out on your fan, on your air conditioner. And I said, oh no, I know exactly what you're talking about. It happened about 8 years ago. But we have a specialty made motor that is pretty expensive because we have one of those units that is energy saving units, and you have to buy a part from this state and a part from this state, and they have to meet up and join together the two parts, and then they'll send it to you. It took us about a week and a half to get the part last time. So I just laughed and I said, okay. So I tried to call James at work to tell him what was going on. Everybody's talking, speaking. Go to girl, welcome in. So I'm dialing every number at James's work. I'm dialing the cell phone, can't get anybody. And I'm thinking, what if something happened to me? I mean, I can't get anybody at this business. I tried for about 25 minutes. I said, it's a good thing nothing happened to me, and this is just the air conditioner. And I laughed about that. Well, finally, I called my cousin. Her husband works at the plant too. I said, look, could you get Mike on the phone and get him to tell James to call me. So she did. It wasn't but about 2 minutes. James called. I said, "You're not going to believe what happened." I said, "The air's out. They've already come checked it. The motors quit working. They got to order one." And I said, "We can't go out to Taylor's because I'm going to have surgery on Friday. And I don't want to be out there after my surgery and Lincoln not understand why I'm not picking him up. And I don't want to be tempted to pick him up." You know what I'm saying? So I said, "I can't go out to Taylor's and stay. We got to do something here at the house to make it stay cool until we get the air conditioner fixed so we won't burn up." And he said, "Okay, I got you." He said, "Call Derek," which is our neighbor. He said, "I have something down at the shed. I have a fan that you can bring in the house." I hadn't turned any lights on because I kept the lights off so it would stay cool. And he brought a portable battery operated fan that I have in here in the YouTube room, and a fan that's cooling off the living room and the kitchen and the dining room. So he's going tonight when he gets home from work and buy one of those portable air conditioners, that you just, it goes in a room and cools off so many rooms until we can get this part in. But anyway, that's been my morning this morning. My air went out. My central air went out. But, oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yep. My central air went out. And I just laughed. I just laughed. I mean, what can you do but laugh? I just told James, and he's off tomorrow. James is off tomorrow, and of course, he's going to be off for my procedure. He didn't have to work anyway. So we're waiting on my cousin to call back to tell me how much it's going to cost, this part. Well, I remember how much that motor cost for that fan last time we had to replace it, which was about 7 or 8 years ago. We had to replace the same motor. And I know about fans stopping. All right, Lori, get that water. Mine went out last week. Bless the man who has been serving the past 10 years. He came over free of charge because I had no money. Oh, that's wonderful. He did that, Lucinda. Well, like I said, my cousin owns this air conditioning business, and he came right away. I mean, I called him. I said, "Terry, look, I'm out of air." And he said, "I got you. I'm on my way." And it was about 10 minutes. He was here. But we had that happen and got a window fan for backup. Hey, Christina, how are you? Welcome in. Well, I want James to go ahead and buy one of these portable air conditioners or a window unit. So if and when this ever happens again, because this is the second time it's happened, we will have a backup. And I know somebody that has one of those portable air conditioners, and it works really well. And I know how a window unit works. But I don't know if I want to go to all the trouble of putting a window unit in my house when I could just get one of those portable ones and it does the same thing, Yes, I hope it gets repaired soon. But, I mean, I'm at the age now. I just, like I said, I was just laughing, really. I was like, "Not today, old devil. You're not going to get me." Yes, my daughter sent him $100 to thank him. Nice. I am lucky my nephew does HVAC. All I ever have to pay for is any parts that are needed. And half the time he ends up not taking my money. He's always says, "Your family ain't Lori." See, it's always good to know somebody. I don't care what anybody says. It's always good to know somebody. And that's one of the advantages about living in a small town. Now, there are disadvantages, like all the, you know, all your business, or they think they know your business, which if I did half the stuff that they say I do, I would have a TV show like uh, Mama June. You know what I'm saying? What do they call? What's that show? I don't even watch it. Mama June and can't think of the little girl's name. She used to be in beauty pageants all the time. That's how they found her. The little girl's done grown up to be. She's 18 or 19 now. Uh, I never watched that. Yeah, especially it always happens when James is at work. And like I said, I tried for 30 minutes. I called his cell phone. I called the number to the switchboard. I called into the supervisor's office. I called into another place that you can dial a number. I was calling every number I could call. And then I have one of those air conditioners for backup. Yeah, that's what we're about to have. Lori J, welcome in. Uh, James called and he said, "Oh no, I was out doing such and such," and I said, "Well, where's everybody else at that plant? Does anybody work there?" Nobody was answering. What if something would have been wrong with me? I said, I would have definitely called 911, but I mean, really? He said, "Yeah, I know." He said, when they called me over the intercom and they said, "Your wife said call ASAP." And he said, I thought, "Oh no, what has happened? What has happened?" I said, and I never call his job. Never, ever do I call it unless it's something like that. But I wasn't going to be around here all day letting this house heat up to about 90 something degrees and wait for him to get home tonight. I mean, I just wasn't going to do it. And he said, "Oh, no, no, no. You were supposed to call." And Derek, my neighbor, came over and brought the fans and all that to keep the air inside that was trapped from last night, because we keep our house really, really cool. And we have really good insulation. So I'm really not hot right now. Even though my thermostat says it's 78 degrees in here, it could be hotter than that, really, if I hadn't got the fans and everything. Cannot stay, but wanted to let you know you're my prayers for smooth surgery and speedy healing. Oh, thank you, Pam. Love you, girl. I hope you and Josie have a good auction Friday. Y'all, Pam has auctions with Josie on Friday and Monday. Go over there and check them out this Friday. We're going through a heat wave here again, not normal for here. It's hot everywhere. Thank you, Nez. I want to thank y'all for lifting me up in y'all's prayers for Friday. I'm just ready for it to be over with. I'm ready to be coming home and getting well. Is what I'm ready for. Hey, Pamela. How are you? Welcome in. We got Lori Chase and Lori J in the room. Two Loris. Hey, Kelly. How are you doing? Welcome in. I'm just glad I don't have Lincoln. I mean, if it had to happen, I'm glad that it wasn't a day that I was babysitting him, because he is so hot natured. By the time Taylor and them got out here that afternoon, when they had to cut their air off and run those fans, they got here. His hair was just all wet and sweaty. We had to give him a bath. She said, he can't take the heat. He can't take it. I said, well, he don't have to take it. I mean, if y'all want to go out there and stay, leave him here. Oh, no, we're not staying out there in that heat. I said, okay, whatever. And then she had the nerve to text me and say, our air is, we can't run our air for 3 days. Can we come out there and stay at y'all's house? I started to say, no, you can't. But I said, of course you can come out here and stay. I mean, come on, you don't even have to ask. Just drive up and say, look, Mom, I don't have any air for 3 days. We got to stay here for 3 days, which is fine with me. Thank you, Jesus. He never fails us. Praise. Yes, he is always taking care of us. Your cousin could probably get it cheaper. I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna ask him. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. I like I said, I've been up since 4:30 this morning. But after Lincoln left yesterday, of course, I was exhausted. I've been getting a lot more tired than I have been. Like, it's just, I'm more tired than I have been, and I know it's because of my heart. And so after he left yesterday, about 5:45, I went to bed probably 7:30. Well, if I stay in the bed from 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, that's 9 hours. I mean, I can't lay there any longer than that, no matter what time it is. So I had to get up because my body was hurting so bad. So I got up and got my wheelchair, and it was time for James to get up and go to work. So I haven't been asleep since 4:30. And crazy me, I noticed that the air wasn't on when he left to go to work. And I thought, well, he must have bumped that air up to take a shower. And I didn't think anything about it. But anyway, that's enough about my life. What have y'all been doing? What news do y'all have? Tell me something about y'all. What's been going on with y'all? Hey, Laura Young, how are you doing? Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I told James, I said, because they told me to pack a bag in case he decided to keep me, which he does sometimes. It depends on how the patient does, which I plan on doing fine. He said, pack a bag, bring my medication, because they're not going to, like when you get admitted into the hospital, they take down all your medications, and they call them hospital pharmacists and get you set up to take your medications. They're not going to do all that. She said, make sure your husband brings your morning medication for when you wake up, you'll have to take it. So I got to remember that. We got to leave here about 4:45 in the morning, not in the morning, but on Friday morning, to get to the hospital by 6:30. I just hope James doesn't have me, and I can't take the Xanax because I can't take anything like that. I hope he drives like a decent person and not like NASCAR, because I'm like, last time he took me to Jackson when I had to have that CT done, by the time I got to that doctor's office, I felt like I was in the Indy 500 or something, or NASCAR, because he had weaved and went up on cars and slowed down and backed up and moved over. And I'm like, oh God, why did I even let him drive me up here? But that's just the way he is. He's going to drive like that. I mean, I've known that for 37 years. That's just the way he drives. But it makes me, especially going through a lot of traffic, and he wants to get in there and go with them, like, okay, let's race, let's go. And he wants to go in and out, weave in and out. No, I'm just like, back up and just let them go and just slow down. And by the time I got there to do that test, I was like, oh my gosh. Honey boo boo, that's it. Honey boo boo, that's it. I've already told him, you better not have me upset going to the doctor Friday. We have a company that we pay monthly and get free checkups on everything and discounted emergency calls. Way worth it. You know, let me explain something to you. All right, this is going to sound really strange, but this is how this works. Terry's dad owned a big air conditioner company, okay? Terry worked for that air conditioner company, and his other brother did, and his other brother still does. Well, his dad got old enough to retire, and his dad sold the air conditioning business for, it ain't no telling how much he sold it for. We called him Big Terry. You know, in the South, it's Big Terry and Little Terry. And so when his dad sold the air conditioning, it was called Chandler's Air Conditioning. And when he sold it, Little Terry said, "I'm not working for anybody else. I don't, if I, I don't want to work for anybody. I've always worked with my dad. I don't want to work with anybody else." So he went out on his own. Well, when we got this unit, we had it through his dad's air conditioning business before he sold it. And we have a plan with them that they come and they'll check it and do all that. We have that. And y'all excuse me, I got hair in my eye. And but because Terry is not associated with them anymore, we always call Terry. And if I would have called that place of business where his dad used to own, they wouldn't have come that fast. They wouldn't come to my house that fast. They would have said, "Okay, you're number 6. You're number 7. We'll see you later on this afternoon." So, that's one reason that we always just call Terry. Everybody speaking. Wonder Woman. How are you, Wonder Woman? Are you healing well? Are you about to get over all your surgeries? Y'all check Wonder Woman out. I think she said, put down in the chat, Wendy, how close you are to your next milestone. And y'all go over there and check Wonder Woman out and watch one of her videos and leave a comment and become part of her community. She's great. And she does kind of favor Wonder Woman, I'm telling you. Well, the Wonder Woman we all knew growing up. Linda Carter, I think that was her name. Yeah. Everybody speaking. So what are y'all going to do this afternoon? It looks like I'm getting out. I'm not cooking in this heat. I am not going to heat this house up, turning that oven on or that stove on. No. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. 6:30. 6:30. Well, they won't actually start the procedure at 6:30 because she said I have to go through the main entrance of the hospital and I got to go register. Where they give you the little armband and they ask you, what is all your information still the same, and what's your contacts if something happens, and all this stuff. And you have to sign this piece of paper and HIPAA and that. We got to do that first. And then I got some questions for my doctor before he puts me under. I have some questions for him. Because we haven't even had a consultation of him telling me exactly what all he was going to do when he had to do what he was going to do. And I'd liked him to talk to me about it because the one thing that really concerns me is the fact that, okay, in order to put another one in, he's got to take this one out. Okay, we're all agreeing on that. He's got to take this one out. Okay, when they put this one in 13 years ago, my heart rate was 38. 38 beats a minute. Your normal heart rate is 76 and above. Well, after 13 years, can you imagine how much weaker my heart's gotten? Because it's got dependent on this pacemaker because I'm 100% dependent on it. It's like if you wore a catheter every day. If you wore a catheter every day for a year or so, they took it out, your bladder wouldn't work. It wouldn't hold because it would be dependent on that catheter. Okay, so I've had this pacemaker since 2013, okay? Well, if he takes this one out, how long is it going to take him to get that other one in? And it has an extra lead on it. It don't have 2 leads, it has 3. And what happens if my heart stops before you get in there and put that pacemaker back in there? I want to know. I mean, are you going to have me on like a bypass thing that's keeping my heart beating? Or what's your plan? You know, what I just want to get that straight in my head before I go under, you know? And I'm sure I don't know how it works. But in my mind, I'm saying, okay, he's got to take it out. That means he's going to unhook it. That means that my heart rate's going to drop back down to where it was 13 years ago or lower. And then what if I go into cardiac arrest? Well, I mean, what if my heart stops? Come on now. It don't take a genius to figure that out. But he's got to have some kind of plan to put, and I was in a lot better health. I know I was in 100% heart block 13 years ago. Well, in 2013, how many years ago was that? 23 would have been 10 years. It was 11 years in January. Now I weigh more. It's harder for me to be put to sleep. And, you know, I don't breathe well. My heart's gotten weaker. I don't move as well as I used to. I mean, a lot of things have changed since I got my first pacemaker. I'm not in the same health as I was in. So that's like, you know, got me thinking too. But I also been praying. So, hey, Purple, how are you? Welcome in. I wish I was going on vacation. I'm going to the hospital. Of course, you already know that, but I won't be able to pick Lincoln up for several weeks. That's why I can't go out to Taylor's. That's why we had to get our air conditioning something situated. Because when you have surgery, you don't want to go to anybody else's house. I want to come home to my house. You know, I want to get well at my house. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Hello. I want to say Ivy's journey. Angie, for strength and speedy recovery. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to try tomorrow to show James how to get on YouTube live on my channel so he can come in live while I'm in recovery or whatever he wants to do and let y'all know what's going on. I mean, all he has to do is click 2 buttons and he's on. I would rent a motel and have a party and let your husband handle it. That's a great idea. That sounds like a plan, Miss Southern Belle. Hey, Patricia, how are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. everybody speaking. I don't think y'all told me y'all's plans yet, or I hadn't got down to them. Oh, you're going to be a great aunt in February? Awesome. Do we know what it is yet? Or is it too early? Is it too early to know? I took a trip down my porch steps the other day. I'm so grateful not. Goodness gracious. Did you hurt yourself, Michelle? That is one thing that I'm very leery of, is falling. Very conscious of it. I will sit there 2 or 3 minutes and figure out different things that I'm going to do in order to be able to stand up. And if something happens, what I'm going to catch on to, if what I'm reaching for the first time doesn't work, I always have an out. Like, okay, I'm going to go over here and catch this. And I'm always conscious of that because I don't want to fall. I hope you're okay. Matt texted me last night and said that Haley went to the doctor yesterday and Olivia is weighing 3 pounds. She's 3 pounds. And she's doing great. Oh, did Sis Angel come in? Welcome in. Did I miss her? Oh, yeah, there she is. Hey, Angel, welcome in. Hey, Cheryl, welcome in. I got to meet a friend from Australia last week. My friend Glenn and his brother and son. Glenn is co-host of the podcast I do on Sunday nights. Very beautiful experience. Oh, I bet that was. They came to the United States, Naz? Wow. That's awesome. He drives like a cab driver. Yeah. I'm going to be having another surgery. Number 7. Apparently one of the nails come loose and needs to be removed. Oh no. James had that happen when he broke his ankle. Yeah, I know y'all gonna think this is made up, but it's not. I promise this is true. When we were married 11 months, James broke his left ankle and had to have 10 pins, 2 plates. Yeah, 10 pins and 2 plates. 8 years ago, I stepped out our back door, broke my left ankle, and had to have 10 pins and 2 plates in my left ankle. We may not have matching tattoos, but we have matching ankle scars where we both have 10 pins and 2 plates in our ankle. When I broke my ankle, my leg was out like this. This was my foot. It was over here like this. This was laying over here. Luckily, James was home and Taylor was still at home at the time. And I went to screaming, James, I broke my ankle. He thought I just was like maybe exaggerating. Well, when he got out there, he saw it laying over, that my ankle was laying over. My leg was straight, but my ankle was like this. He said, oh my gosh, we got to get you to the hospital before the pain sets in. So he takes me to the local hospital that we have here. I was still in shock, so I hadn't started hurting yet. Now, I know that sounds strange, but I had not started hurting in my ankle. Yeah, he drives and he scares me. Well, they get me in there, and of course, they like, we got to set this ankle. We got to set it. But we're going to put her into a light sleep, maybe knock her out for 15 minutes so we can set this ankle because it was completely, it was just broke. So when I woke up from that sleep, my ankle was wrapped. Okay. So he said, we don't have an orthopedic surgeon here. We're going to have to send you to Jackson. And I've already talked to the guy, and he said he could do the surgery tonight. Tonight he can do the surgery. So we go to this hospital that we don't usually use, okay? And we are supposed to meet this orthopedic doctor to do surgery on my ankle. Well, we get there and they come in with this big x-ray machine. And they said, we got to x-ray your ankle. And I said, no. You can call Brookhaven. They have x-rays because they've set my ankle. That means if you take this wrapping off, my ankle's going to come loose again and you're going to have to set it again. And he said, yes, ma'am, and we can't put you to sleep again because you have a pacemaker. I said, so you mean to tell me you're going to set my ankle with no anesthesia or nothing? Is that what you're telling me? Yes, ma'am. So I'm laying there and I'm like, no, do not take this bandage off my ankle because I don't want you to have to set it again. Well, ma'am, we got to get our own x-rays. This is what they're telling me, okay? So they unwrap my already set ankle, okay, already set, to do x-rays of their own. I'm not kidding y'all. He said, okay, I'm going to set your ankle. They did not give me anything and did not put me back to sleep because I had a pacemaker. He grabs my foot. I have nurses up here on me like this. He grabs my foot and my leg at the same time, and he goes, and he twists it, and I honestly passed out. I was like, I screamed one time, and just next thing I know, I'm just coming to, and I'm saying, did you get it? Did you get it? And he's like, yeah, I got it. I said, okay. So then this other little guy comes in after they do that to me. I felt like I was on, the battlefield where these men are on the battlefield and they're getting shot and stabbed and broke bones and all that. And they just go to bandaging each other up. That's the way I felt when he grabbed my ankle. So another little guy comes in and he says, we're going to let you go home and you come back Friday and we're going to do surgery. And I said, what? I said, oh, no. They sent me to this hospital because they said a doctor was going to do surgery on me tonight. Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am, we're not going to do surgery on you tonight. James comes from behind my bed. He said, oh, yeah, you are. Somebody's going to do surgery tonight. I'm not going to take her home with her ankle that broke and her living that pain for 3 days. That's not happening. Somebody's going to do surgery. He said, I'm fixing to call Brookhaven. So the gentleman said, you can do whatever you want to, but we're not doing surgery. So James goes out, calls the Brookhaven hospital and says, look here, we would not have come to this hospital had you not said she was having surgery tonight. I'm not taking her home. And if we go to another hospital, they're going to unwrap it again, do their own x-rays, and she's going to go through that entire pain again. And it's not going to happen. Somebody is going to do surgery tonight. He said, sir, I don't know who told you that, but just give me a minute. So I'm crying. I'm telling James, I cannot go through that pain again. I cannot go to another hospital. I cannot have somebody else grab my ankle and try to set it without giving me something for pain. I'm just crying thinking that I'm having to come home and all they're going to do is give me pain pills. Can you imagine your leg broke half in two and they're just going to give you pain pills for 3 days? So maybe 20 minutes, the little guy walks back in there and says, well, he says, I want to apologize to y'all. Dr. So-and-so, and I cannot even remember his name. He is going to do the surgery. And he said, I wasn't aware that he was going to do it. Nobody had told me. And I'm so sorry that I told y'all that you wasn't going to have surgery. But you are going to have surgery tonight. But yeah, I went through that. I went through that with my ankle. It was horrible. I know about broken bones. That's why I don't want to fall. I'll never forget them grabbing my ankle. Never. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Hey, boatman. Welcome in. Hey, Gladys. Welcome in. You're not late. You're right on time. I'm not cooking. Instapot is. Good deal. James is he's going by and pick something up. I don't know what he's going to get, but if he wants something to eat, he's going to go by and pick it up. Hey, crossover. Welcome in. Welcome in. Uniques by the Creek. Welcome in. So good to have you. Welcome in. I got you. More like 70. Yes. Hey, Miss Angie and all the chat. Nana Tink sent me the most beautiful. Let me see. She's in the chat. Let me show y'all. Oh. I've been receiving gifts for Olivia too. Olivia's been getting some gifts in the mail. Y'all are so sweet. All my neighbors are just so sweet. Anyway, I want to show you what Nana Tink sent me. And it's so heavy. Look at this. She knows I love owls. There's not very many people that don't know that I and it is heavy. It is so nice. I love it. I kept it in the box so if Nana came in, I could thank her for it. Thank you, Nana. I love you. Thank you. Hey, Nani Mae, how are you doing? Welcome in. How have you been doing? Oh, there's Deborah. I have a glass of strawberry premium. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Y'all check Deborah out. And of course, she does have auctions. I am your faithful auction goer. Okay, just call me that. I don't have auctions, but I get the award for Claudette and I because Claudette goes and Michelle. We always are the ones that are mostly always there if anytime anybody's having an auction. So we're the three amigos that sit on the front saying, oh, I love that. That looks pretty. Yes, I want that. That's why I've accumulated all this stuff that I don't need. And my kids are not going to want when I'm not here anymore. They're probably going to give it away, throw it away, have a yard sale. I don't know what they're going to do with it. But they're going to do something with it. I don't know. I won't be here to know that. But anyway, I love it, Nana. Y'all, my nose is running because I don't have any air on. And I have the fans going. Uniques by the Creek. She has auctions with Dawn and D. Tell me if I'm wrong. And I'm trying to think of her name. I'm like Ella. I go by the YouTube name. I don't go by the real name. Starts with a T. Is it Teresa? Trish? I don't know. Forgive me, Uniques. I'm sorry. I went to school with the McCoy's boatman. Angie, you don't worry. I am going to ask him. But I don't know what I would do if he tells me nothing. I'm just going to unplug you and you're going to have to stay unplugged. I mean, what am I going to do? I'm already going to be there laying on the bed, him ready to put me to sleep. And, I guess I just want to know for my own peace of mind. Do they have to cut you open to change? Yes. They have to cut a strip right here. I have a scar right here. And what they do is, that's to put the battery in. They cut this little place right here. They pull that back and they make a little pocket. They pull a little piece of skin back and they make a little pocket and they put the battery down in that pocket. And then they sew that back up. And my battery's right here on my other. I can feel it. It's right here. And of course the scar's right there. I'll have to heal from that. But the reason they don't want you lifting or putting your hands above your head or reaching above your head with this arm is because the leads, the leads that they put in have to go through the veins of your heart. And they don't want you to pull those leads out of the veins of your heart, because that would not be good. So they don't want you to put your arms over your head. They don't want you to lift, stuff like that. You probably will have 2 or 3 surgeons there. Oh, yeah, probably. Make sure y'all are hitting those thumbs up. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Krista's World. Thank you. Welcome in. There's a bypass procedure of some sort that will keep you until the pacemaker gets put in. My cousin has AFib and has a pacemaker too. The Lord is your sustainer. Yes. Yes. Because I've been telling the Lord now, and I'm a Christian, so I talk to him a lot. And I'm like, okay, Lord, I don't know when I'm supposed to go, and I don't know. And if you choose to take me on, I'm gonna be good with it. But I really want to stay for a little while longer. I really want to be here. I'm really enjoying myself, even though I'm in a lot of pain and have a lot of health problems. I really am not ready to go right now. And he and I have been talking, and I have peace about it. I told somebody, my favorite song is one of my favorites. It is Well With My Soul. And that's just where I am. It is well with my soul. Whatever happens, it's okay. I'm not going to know it anyway. If I don't think I'm going to remember much. If I cross over on the other side, I don't think it will be a crying episode, of me leaving, because everything I've always heard has been so happy that everybody's wanted to stay, that's crossed over and got to come back. You may not believe that or not. That may not be your belief. They've always said, oh, I wanted to stay. I wanted to stay. But I'm not even looking at that right now because I feel like everything's going to be okay. I had surgery when I was 50 years old. You will feel like crap that first week, but you will feel better soon. Yeah, Matt told me, he said, Mama, I don't want to scare you. Now, this is my physical therapy son, okay? He said, Mama, I don't want to scare you. Like, why did you even say that if you didn't want to scare me? Because automatically that scares me. He said, but with your condition, you're probably going to have physical therapy for 2 weeks after they put you to sleep. And I'm like, they're just going to put me to sleep, Matt. I mean, what are you talking about? He said, Mama, you don't know how much it takes out of you to be put to sleep, and you're already weak. And when you start to get up, and he said, I don't know why he won't keep you one night so Dad won't have to be getting you in the house by himself after the surgery because you're going to be weak. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to go through that, because every time I have a relapse, like when I got that virus about 2 months ago that my daughter had, James and Taylor got over it in like a day. It took me 4 days. 4 days. And for me to be able to go to the bathroom by myself, and James not help me get to the bathroom and use the bathroom because I was so weak over just a virus. So now that he's told me that, I'm like, oh, Lord, intervene. Let me prove him wrong. Because I hadn't had any surgery since I've been this handicap, in the wheelchair. And I'm trying to think. I think my pacemaker was my last surgery in 2013. Yeah, in 2013. I think that was the last major surgery I had was in 2013. I haven't had another surgery. So I hope it doesn't knock me out like that and knock me down. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you. Glad you come in. Welcome in. Yes, thank you, Wendy. You're okay, Michelle. You're doing great. Too early, but they don't want to know the gender. Oh, I love that. I love that. You know, okay, y'all do not judge me. Do not judge me on what I'm about to say. Please, just listen to me. I'm on a roll today. I got a box from Amazon just now. I bought myself some skates. I'm going to start skating again. Awesome. Are you going to make a video? How are these people making money on gender reveals when we got this big thing going on in the world right now that there's no gender? How is that even possible that we still have that business? I mean, to me, that's an oxymoron. I mean, to me, it's kind of funny. You have a business that's going to tell you whether you're having a boy or a girl, but yet and still there's no gender. So explain that to me. Oh, it's kind of comical. It really is. We are finally all done cleaning up from the EF1 tornado. 7 trees, 11,000 debris. Oh no. Oh no. Deborah, I am so glad y'all were safe. That's the main thing is that y'all are safe. I've been in tornadoes before. I've actually seen one in the sky. I have been in the midst of a tornado. It is not fun. One went right over our house one day. I can't wait to see that video of you on the skates, Christina. You better do a video. I don't know if everybody knows this, Deborah, but put in the chat how close it come to your house. How close it was to hitting your house. What did Nana say? Yeah, that's what I always say. It could be worse. Walked down to the doctor's office and then I fell down so on the pavement and scraped my knees. Oh, I'm so sorry, Cheryl. There's a lot of falling going on. I've had we own surgeries and my shoulder replacement is loose. Yeah, Angel, I know that you went through it, breaking both of your shoulders at one time. Did you go to when you fell? Did you go to catch yourself like this? Is that how you broke your shoulders? Were you trying to catch yourself by your hands? Is that how you broke them? Claudette, I'm excited. My daughter asked me what I wanted to do for my birthday this year, and I said skate party. Oh, skate party. I can remember skating. I can remember the last cartwheel I did. I was 30 years old at a friend of mine's birthday party. They have it on VHS, and it was a 50s party where you had to dress up in the poodle skirts and all that. And I did a cartwheel in her living room. No joke. That's the last cartwheel I ever did. I used to do cartwheels. I mean, I'm talking about perfect cartwheels, back bend, flip over, all that stuff. Yikes, that sounds not fun. 20 surgeries. Oh, no. I've had several surgeries too. Oh, how sweet of her to ask and do what you want. Yeah, I know. That is sweet. Very sweet. Hey, Gina. How are you? There's beautiful Gina. Now, you want to meet a beautiful person inside and out? You go over to Gina's Gallery of Jewelry and More. Now, she has two channels. Okay. Her second channel is something Gina. She'll have to put it in the chat. Genuinely Gina. Genuinely Gina. And she has a lot of Christian based talk on that channel. That's her second channel. She does great things on that channel. It's really interesting what she does and talks about. But this channel, she does she opens jewelry boxes, things that she's bought from auctions, stuff she finds when she's out going to thrift stores and stuff like that. Really, really interesting stuff. If y'all not a part of Gina's family, y'all need to run over there and check her out. Y'all will not be disappointed. Down to earth, straight talker, tell you like it is. Don't hold anything back. Honest. I got a rod in my bone from my tibia to my ankle, and then I believe 13 pins, but they look and call them nails. Oh. Wendy. Oh, Wendy. I know you have. Oh. All I can say is I love you, Wendy, and I am praying for you. Ain't that a crop just to get more money from the insurance? So wrong. I'm so sorry, Angie. They did that to your ankle. I know. It was bad. The next surgery I have, they said I'll be awake. No anesthesia, just a nerve blocker. See, this doctor, the first pacemaker I got, I was awake. I was awake the whole time. He had a curtain over me like this, and he cut me, and he was just talking to me, and the girl over here, he said, now, I got you ready, and she's fixing to amp you up, put my heart rate to 70. I think they set it at 74. And as soon as she went, my heart rate, I could feel it went up, and I could feel it go up, and I was like, oh, I even felt better just that moment, because I didn't realize how bad I felt until my heart rate was up where it was supposed to be. And he said, how's that feel? And I said, oh, that feels great. He said, okay, we're good. And he sews me up, takes me back to the room. That was on a Friday. I was back at work Monday. And my boss called me Saturday and said, how many weeks do you want off work? And I said, I'll be at work Monday. She said, what? Did your doctor say you could come Monday? I said, look, I was working half dead for I don't know how many weeks because my heart rate was low and I was passing out with my heart stopping. And I was almost dead and I was working. Now I'm good. I'm alive again. And you telling me not to come to work? Yeah, I'm coming to work. I'll be there Monday. And Monday morning, I was back at work. Hey, Victoria. How are you? There's Adventures with Victoria. Victoria. I don't have the voice like Victoria does. She has a beautiful voice, and Ella tells her all the time, don't sing, Victoria. Don't sing. It's so funny. If you hadn't caught their auction on Friday, she and Ella, it's hilarious. You will laugh, laugh, laugh. They are so funny because, I don't know if y'all know this, but if you can get Victoria started on certain topics, she can just run with it. I'm talking about run with it. And it is just hilarious. Y'all got to go check that out. Everybody speaking. I'm so glad you made it, Victoria. Victoria is at her daughter's in Texas. And she doesn't really have anybody around her. She's having to stay at that house. She's dog sitting. And she has just been on YouTube trying to find a place to go so she won't be so lonely, because she couldn't bring all of her stuff that she sells to her daughters. And So she has a lot of time on her hand. And I got to thinking, oh, Victoria, you couldn't live my life because I am homebound and I stay home with me all the time. I hardly ever get to go anywhere. But you are a lot younger than I am, Victoria. So, when I broke my arms, they put me in 2 slings and sent me home. Oh, no, Angel. I couldn't even imagine. Oh, my goodness. Nora, the Stuckest floor. That's the cool kid of the block. In case y'all don't know, we have a neighborhood. Nora's the cool kid. Look at the cap she has on in her picture. You know she's the cool one. She keeps everybody straight. Welcome in, Nora. Okay, so I don't know if y'all want to hear this or not, but I have another story I want to tell y'all. I don't know why I'm telling y'all all this about me, but I'm just going to tell you. So James, when Matt, he couldn't work while he was in high school because he played so many sports. Well, we always told our children they were going to get a job when they got a vehicle or an automobile. We call them vehicles here in the South. And they were going to provide the gas for it, and they were going to provide the upkeep for whatever automobile that we purchased for them. So because my son played so many sports, he couldn't have a normal after-school job. So he and James split firewood, cut down trees in the summer, split firewood, and sold firewood in the winter. It was a moneymaker. I mean, Matt made lots of money in the winter selling firewood. So Matt had some kind of practice. I don't know what sport it was. It must have been football. And James said, will you come up here to the lot? We own this lot up here above our house where they kept all the wood. He said, he called a name. They want some firewood, and I want to be able to take it to them. Will you come up here and help me just a minute? I said, yeah, I'll help you. So we go up there, and he tells me, he said, Angie, stand on this log and put your weight on it because I need for you to stand on it, and I'm going to cut this end off of it. This is what he's telling me. So when I go to stand on the log, I put my hand out like this, and there's a tree in front of me. So when I did, I pressed my arm and stood up. Well, when I did, it was this arm. This arm come out of socket. And it was just hanging there. And I don't know if y'all have ever had that happen, but it's the weirdest feeling when you don't have a part of your body that's supposed to be attached to your main body. This whole arm was just dangling like this. And I went, oh no. And I could see James out of the corner of my eye. And I'm like, oh no, he's fixing to grab me and try to set my arm back into my socket. That's what I'm saying to myself. I said, oh no, he's not doing that. So I take this arm, grab this, and go like this. And when I did, I got my arm back in my socket. But before I did, I went to my knees because I just kind of blacked out because it hurt so bad. But once it got in, it was like, oh gosh. And we just looked at each other like, why did that happen? Why did your arm come out of socket just by putting it up against a tree and pressing? Something is not right. So I didn't think anything about it. So I go to church that night and I tell somebody at church, I said, you ain't gonna believe what happened. And of course, I have a relative that works at the sports clinic. And she said, no, I'm getting you an appointment with Dr. So-and-so. You be at the sports clinic in Jackson in the morning. They're going to look at that. That's not normal. Something's wrong. So they get me up there. I go in. I'm trying to think of the doctor's name. And they take an x-ray. Well, he comes in the room and he says, now tell me again what happened. How did this happen? And I told him the story that I told you, but I think he thought James had been abusive toward me and jerked my arm, and he and I were fighting or something. I don't know what he thought. He said, I had never seen a break like this. He said, I've got to do surgery on it because, okay, you know how this is your socket on your shoulder and it fits into your shoulder like that? This bone right here was broke. It was broke off. He said, I don't know how you did that. We're going to do a bone density test on you to make sure that your bones are okay. Well, he said, if I don't do surgery on it, when you lay down to sleep at night and you turn over just the least little bit, your arm's going to come out of socket and you're going to live that whole thing over again about getting your shoulder back in. That's what he tells me. So he said, also, I want to ask you a question. I said, okay. He said, can I use your case as a case study for one of my classes that we're doing? Because he was teaching other doctors to become arm. Because they had one doctor in there that did arms, one that done legs, knees, one that did feet. You know, you have a different specialist in there that do different things. And I said, sure, you can use it. He said, because this is a very unusual break. You don't hardly ever see a break like this. And I can't believe you broke it just by putting your hand up against something and pushing your body to stand up. But true story, that really happened. 1996, I broke both heels and right knee in many picks. I would not let put pen in my, oh no. Wow, Christina, you're a rock star. What agree with Claudette? Oh, that's so pretty. How about my cup? Okay. I got a present for Lincoln. I'm hoping Colleen will invoice me soon. So, oh, thank you, Michelle. He'll love it. He's the sweetest baby. He's so sweet. Yeah, y'all need to go over there and check Christina's The Winning Walk with Christina. I don't know if y'all have ever checked her channel out, but she does that. She takes these walks and she talks. She and I have the same faith. We're Christians. And she has these great talks about stuff. And if you want to hear it, but she also is a dumpster diver and she finds great things in the dumpster too. So go over there and check her out. I hang around some pretty awesome people, if y'all hadn't noticed. I really do. Kids will get an auctioneer and have a huge auction at your house. Yeah, that's what happened. I'll tell them to get one of my YouTubers to come and be the auctioneer. Anna, you can do that. You can come and do the auctioneer. And everybody else, you can be on video, and everybody else that I go to their channel can be here, and then y'all can auction off my stuff. That would be a great idea. I might have to tell him that. He's not going to unplug you. Thank you, Gina. I love you, girl. You can be as me, Angie Auctioneer. You're great at it. That we can have adventures with Victoria singing for the people at the auction. Yeah. You know, I used to do auctions. It was called Angie's Auction Arena. I used to have auctions, but it's a job to have auctions, and my health wouldn't last for me to do it. It took everything out of me, and I couldn't enjoy my channel because I was selling, invoicing, boxing, mailing, all that, and I couldn't do anything with this channel but this is what I really wanted YouTube for, is to do this channel for my kids to view when I wasn't here any longer. You know, my grandkids would know me from YouTube and they would watch my videos. That's really why I did YouTube. It wasn't to do auctions. It was to, you know. Oh, thank you, Miss Southern Belle. I love you. Happiness, peace, and love will be on the other side. Yes. And no pain. That's why I'm afraid I won't want to come back. Because if I get over there and I'm not feeling pain, I might say, whoa, whoa, here now. I can't go back. I don't want to hurt. Everything's going to be all right. It's me, Angie. Prayers are thinking of you always. When is Angie having surgery? I'll take her an hour to get to my comments. So I'm sorry, Victoria. I'm having it this Friday. I know they told you. Oh, thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Victoria. I appreciate it. I hope y'all don't laugh too much at James if he comes on live because he's liable to say anything. I am not kidding. He doesn't have a filter. But I'm going to tell him there's a few things that he can't say on my channel because I don't want my channel taken down. He don't have a bad mouth or anything. I'm not saying that. He don't say ugly words. I'm sure he says ugly words at his job, but he don't bring them home with him. But because he tells me how aggravated he gets up there. He calls it the rock. Oh, I wanted to explain to Claudette what he meant about the Flintstone rocks. I didn't even realize he said that on my video the other day, Claudette, and you didn't know what he meant when he said, that's an abomination to God's word, period. What is? Oh yeah, I got you. I'm following you. I'm late on the chat. Thank you for Patricia G. Yes, exactly, Michelle. What he meant about the Flintstone rocks? I don't know if y'all have ever seen these big, huge rocks that when you in the train yard where the train is, it's these big silver, white looking stones. You know, they're big rocks where the train tracks are. I don't know if y'all have ever got up close to those rocks or not. But James calls them Flintstones, like, you know, the Flintstone cartoon. And he jokes around for years now. He's been up there 27, 28 years. He says, I've been walking on Flintstone rocks all day. And because he can wear out a pair of steel toe boots in about 3 or 4 months walking on those rocks because he works in the rail yard where the train comes in and he has to keep up with the cars. And he has to move the cars where they're supposed to be lined up on the train to get to where they're going with the material that his plant makes. So they have this little shack thing that he works out of. He don't have to go into the main plant. He said it's a good thing he don't because it's just a good thing. But he works out there by himself, and you know he has to walk up and down that railroad track, making sure everything's okay and all that, and switching over hopper cars and all that. And he walks on those rocks, and that's what he meant about that, Claudette. We have rain and impending flooding here in Indiana. Oh my goodness. Oh, last week and the week before it rained every day. And I'm talking about thunderstorm. Hey, Lindsay Ann, how are you? Welcome in. I know, Deborah. Tornadoes, unless you've ever been in one, it's like having a baby. If somebody's never had one, you really can't describe it to them until they've actually experienced it. They may think they know what it feels like, but you don't really know until you do it. Well, you don't really know about being in a tornado until you actually been in a tornado. I love the rollerblading times out on at the arena. I used to love to skate too. We used to go skating all the time. Oh, something said not to. Yeah, you better stay home, Gina. Let me get down here. Make sure I don't miss any. Thank you for coming in, Lindsay Ann. I'm so glad you did. There's Lisa. Hey, Lisa. I know who you're going to have on your auction today. I was over there on her channel earlier. Francine is coming to see you. Y'all check out Lisa's new adventure. She is going to be on. I don't know what time it's going to be, but she's going to be on later on this afternoon. She has Lisa's a sweetie pie. Y'all going to have to go over there and check her out. I'm telling you, I'm all hooked up on auction. Look at all these auction people I have in here. She said, I'm so darn lonely. Yeah, you're an outgoing person. That's the way I used to be. I used to be like the everybody would say, well, if you're not going, I'm not going. When we got invited somewhere, when all my friends got invited, I'd say, no, I don't think I'm going. Well, if you're not going, I'm not going, because we're not going to have fun if you don't go. And I was always the one that kept the talk going and, would just be laughing and acting crazy. And now I don't even like to hardly be around people. It is unreal. I'm talking about not like on YouTube, but I mean, like when you go to Walmart and there's people, and you go to people that, I don't know, peopling, if you know what I'm saying, people that you don't know real well. I don't enjoy that anymore. Get you a Coke, Michelle. Yeah, 20 minutes from Ella Victoria. We could all have something. Yes, Wendy. Yes, y'all would have to video that. Yes, y'all would. That would be an awesome YouTube video. Though I'd be a little jealous, but I would get over it because I would enjoy the video. I was so glad that I was going to be able to do one more live before my procedure on Friday, just to let y'all know, how I was going to do it. Try to let, dang, Angie, that's amazing. I don't think I could do that to my arm. And they did the bone density test, and it came back okay, but now I'm not. I have osteo because of the steroids. But I wasn't taking steroids back then. But I believe what happened was I must have fell. I don't remember. And I must have fell on my hands. And I must have had a little fracture. And it hadn't healed yet. But I kept trying to remember, like, when did I fall? When did I fall and maybe fractured it a little bit? And then it went ahead and broke when I pressed against the tree. That's the only thing I can figure out that happened. Because believe me, James, he's still alive, so he didn't touch me. Because I always told him, which he's never, ever raised a hand to me, but we'd always joke around, and the whole time we've been married, and I'd say, okay, you're stronger than I am, and you could do a lot of damage to me, but you better make it count, because you will have to sleep. Because if you ever go to sleep, it's all over with. And he always laughs, but believe me, he didn't do anything to me, but I think that doctor thought her husband has done something to her arm, and she just don't want to tell me. And I assured him that James would not be standing in the room if he had done something to my arm. Yeah, Nana remembers when I had auctions. This channel is exactly what you're meant to do, and you have made a difference in many people's lives. Oh, thank you, Claudette. Kenneth, the Kentucky Fam Life. Welcome back, Kenneth. You were here last time. Thank you for coming back. I appreciate it. I want James and I to do another cooking video, but I just can't get him to get still enough to do. And then when he comes in from outside, I'm like, you're not going on camera looking like that. Now you just gonna have to go back there and get a shower and get some more clothes on, because I'm not going to do a cooking video with you just coming from the outside. No. That's just like me. I have to put on makeup. But I'm going to assure y'all something. Friday morning when I get up to go to that hospital, I'm not going to have makeup on. My hair's going to be clean and all that, but it's not going to be all dolled up. I'm not going to have jewelry on. I'm going straight up there, and that's why I won't be showing my face on YouTube, which I don't think I'll be able to talk that day anyway. But I hate to keep wiping my nose in front of y'all, but this fan is making my nose run. Hey, Jessica, how are you? Welcome in. Oh, you're welcome, Lindsay, anytime. Thank you, Jessica. Jessica, she's got videos out. She and her daughter go dumpster diving. Her son's got a couple of videos out. Go over there and check Jessica out. She always shares everybody out. I'm glad I was scrolling through the YouTube that one day, and I'm glad that I found your channel. You're a very nice. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Christina's World. Thank you. You have to take your nail polish off too before surgery. Oh, well, I will be doing that tomorrow too, because I plan on getting all what I need to do. You know, the mask on the face, cleaning my face real good, you know, getting all everything cleaned up and ready to go. Maritza, how are you? Welcome in. How are you doing? Finally made it down to the bottom. But I didn't know you had to take fingernail polish off, Nana. I'm glad you told me that. I wonder why you can't wear fingernail polish. Do you know why you can't wear fingernail polish, Nana? She might put it in the chat. I don't know. Okay. This is Nana's story to tell, but I want to ask her a question. I hope she don't mind asking her a question in front of all y'all. Hello, 710. Nana has talked about this before on her channel. So for years they don't allow. Hold on. What in the world? What happened? What happened? I got to get myself back. Hold on, y'all. Here I am. Okay. I use nail polish. Will never go back to paint. Yes, I was told. All right, here we go. Yes, I was told you are having surgery. They can look at your nail color for how you are doing, like oxygen. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm glad you told me that, Nana. Which they would have probably took it off at the hospital. Ma'am, we got to get that fingernail polish off of your nails. You're not here to do any kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like picking up men or anything. We're going into surgery. You don't need to be looking all nailed up. Nephew Troy. Welcome in, 710. All right, Deborah. Love you. See you later. She's going to be at Lisa's too, I think. I think Deborah is. But anyway, what I was going to say about Nana, no, that probably hadn't changed, Nana. That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Oh, and I hope I don't know what's going on. I hope you're doing a lot better because I think, did you fall, Nana? I think Nana fell. I think she's having vertigo, which, like I said, is her story to tell. So I know people that got up on the go have a baby. I know people that make up on the go have a baby. What? Oh, I'm glad you're doing better, but that's not what I wanted to ask you. Okay, so one of my daughter's best friends that she went to school with from preschool, dad, which I knew because I live in a small town. I knew him, but I didn't really know him. You know, we didn't run in the same circles, but I knew who he was. And of course, his last name was Smith too, but we wasn't related. He wasn't related to James. But anyway, he had to have a heart transplant. Okay. And Abby, his little daughter was preschool, and his son was a year older than Matt. So this is when it happened. Okay. I know why he had to have his heart transplant, but I don't know if you ever told why your husband, or if you even want to, because there's different reasons why people have to have them. He got an infection in his heart, an infection that went to his heart. It's the reason he had to have a heart transplant. That was his story, the reason he had to have one. I don't know if that's the only reason you have one, or I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's not. I was 16 when I had my first surgery. I had a black nail polish, and the nurses were giving me another funny look about it. When I woke up, they took the polish off of 3 nails. Oh, they told me no nail polish to whoever I had just had them done. And during surgery, they never said anything. So I woke up with nails still on. Oh, well, hey, 96. Welcome in. I haven't seen you in forever. Where have you been? Hey, Angie, I'm at work on break, so I won't be here long, but had to say, feel like it's been forever. Oh, I know, 96. I miss you. Oh, my goodness, you have made my day. I'm so glad you come in. They went into labor and started putting on makeup and getting pretty to go to the hospital to deliver the baby. I never did that. Mm-mm. No, that didn't happen. No. A lot of them get made up to do YouTube videos when they're in labor. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. But back then, when I was having my babies, it wasn't a such thing as YouTube, and we didn't get all dolled up. But the reason I asked Nana that question is because, all right, y'all just roll with me on this, okay? They're going to put a third lead into my heart, okay? I'm hoping that'll last 10 years like this other one did. That'll put me at 67, okay? So then they might have to put a defibrillator in. I'm hoping that'll put me into my 70s. I don't think they'll do a heart transplant on me because of the autoimmune disease that I have. I don't think I'm even a candidate for it. But I don't even know if my own mental brain would allow me to even think about what they do during that surgery that they were going to do to me. I don't even know if my mental brain could handle it. But I guess if I wanted to be alive, I guess I would. Here we go. He has a genetic heart issue where the heart slowly dies. Nothing can be done. His mom and older brother both died from it. His heart slowly died over years, starting at around age 30. Whoa. 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 I hope your kids didn't inherit that, Nana. I hope that gets better soon, 96 Gal. I hope you're doing well. Yes, I hope you start coming back around. Jim got me a nice set of earbuds and pretty pink Bluetooth speaker. Nice. All right, Jessica. Bye. But if I ever, okay, I don't know if y'all even know this, but if I ever develop any kind of cancer, knock on wood, I can't take chemo. Okay, because chemo weakens your heart anyway. I know a lot of you probably already know that. So for me, chemo is out, which I'm kind of glad, because that way I don't have to make that decision. It's like, okay, well, I can't have that. Just like I can't have a lot of things because of my pacemaker, like certain machines, like the TENS. Like when I'm hurting and I want to put that little TENS machine on, I can't do that. I can't be around a lot of magnets. I could have had a thing on my leg that was um, that would cause my leg to step right, but it was electronic and it wouldn't go along with my pacemaker. So I couldn't have that apparatus to make me walk correctly. And I had foot drop. I do have foot drop. And it caused my foot drop to get worse because I couldn't have that apparatus that would have caused me to walk with that. It would have sent electrodes through my leg. But because I have a pacemaker, I couldn't have it. So medically, when you have a pacemaker, there's a lot of things you can't have after you get the pacemaker. Yeah, that is a lot to deal with. The L-Babe is a bridge to transplant. Same. Some have Levad for years. We are blessed. He has not. He has had it only 7 months, and a heart came available. Oh yeah. I like I said, this is Nana's story to tell. But the guy that I was friends with, he got to meet the person's family that donated the heart for him to live. Can you imagine how emotional that was? He actually got to meet that family. I don't even know if I would have done it, because I would have been so thankful that family wanted to see me. I would have had to go no matter what. Oh, thank you, 96. Thank you. Elbad, if you don't know, look it up. It was a long, hard road, but so very blessed, so that so many didn't make it. See, all right, Nana, okay, Nana gets me, and I'm sure a lot of you get me when I say this, but until you experience something like that and go through something so close to not being here, you really don't get the concept of life is too short. You know, we say that on YouTube all the time, and I don't think people really grasp it because they've never went through walking up to the end of that cliff with one foot stepping off that cliff and they're fixing to go, and then they start reevaluating their whole entire life like, oh my gosh, this wasn't as important as I thought it was. Me being so angry and me being so dramatic and me being so childish and me being so ugly to people, and and you just reevaluate your whole life when you get that close to not being in this world. When you get that close, I mean, that's the way I was. It was like, oh my gosh, all this other stuff does not matter. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to enjoy people. I'm going to love people. I'm going to forgive people. I'm going to just let people be people. And, and I think the reason that a lot of people, and I'm not judging them, and I'm thankful they never have got to that point. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Ella, thank you. Ella. Nana's got to make me a song like she did Dawn. Dawn has the cutest giraffe song. Nana's going to have to make me a little super chat song. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Ella. Thank you, Ella. I love you. Love you. Anyway, Dawn had her celebration of her 500, and she played this giraffe little thing for people that gave super chats, and she got to play it over and over again because people were giving her super chats because she had met such a milestone. And Nana had done the little thing that she was playing, had a giraffe on it. It was the cutest thing. Oh, that would have been hard, not only him, but for the family too. I think it would have been a blessing as well for the family, although I'll never know unless I'm in that situation. Yeah, it was hard. He gave testimony at church one Sunday about meeting the family. And of course, he was, and I'll tell y'all something. I don't know if Nana's husband was like this, but after I had my pacemaker, I cried at everything. I cried if it was something good. I cried if it was sad. I cried. I didn't know why I was crying. And I was so emotional. And I told my heart doctor, I said, something is wrong. All I do is cry. And he said, look, I have grown men that have had heart surgery that tell me the same thing. It has something to do with your heart when you have surgery. It will pass. It will pass in 2 or 3 months. You won't do it as often. But I still tear up and cry, but not as often as I did right after I had my first pacemaker. And he said it just comes with having surgery on your heart. You just get emotional. He said it just happens. I think, I won't be able to take radiation either. I think radiation is worse. My husband was 64 when he got stage 4 tonsil cancer. He has now been cancer free for 16 years. He went through both chemo and radiation at the same time. Oh, no. Oh, no. Thank you again, Ella. I love you. Thank you. But one day I should go live and talk about it. It would be a good memory and knowledge for our grandkids. And yes, Nana, please, I would love to know the story. That would be awesome. My mom is my hero, the survivor. So she survived breast, uterine, skin cancer. My hero. Yes. That is amazing, Michelle. That is amazing. The only cancer we have in our family is colon cancer. My grandmother had colon cancer, but they caught it in time and they got all of it. But we're supposed to go back ever so many years and get checked because of her having it. And of course, I haven't been back in several years because I've had all this to deal with. Angie, you got it. Thank you, Didi. It's adorable. Hello, Ella. Ella, that's who I was talking about, where Victoria is going to be Friday. And if y'all don't know who Ella is, y'all are living under a rock. So that's all I can say for you. Ella is the one that has auctions all the time. This is my husband sending me a text. I guess he's wondering if I burned up in the house being so hot. But I'm not really hot. Angie, I understand all too well. At 17, I was pronounced dead. Blood sugars was, 1,700? 1,700? He is for sure a different person, emotional and other things too. Yeah. I saw the other side, but that's another chat and need to join husband and son for dinner. Oh, I would love to hear that story, Wendy. Think about sharing that. I get up in my feelings all the time. It's okay, Lindsay. It's okay. I used to never show my emotion until I married James and I got older and I started having children and I realized it was okay to show emotion. I never showed emotion when I was growing up. No, I had to be tough. I couldn't show, I couldn't cry in front of people. Now I boo-hoo at the least little thing. I love you, Wendy. Have a good night. Your heart slows down with any heart surgery. Your brain does too. My mama was a chatterbox, but after her heart surgery, she was quiet. She was like that for a few months, but she got better. Yeah, I bounced back too. Yeah. Aries world, welcome in. Hi, it's me, Angie. Popped in to say hello. Quick when I saw you were live. How are you? I'm okay. I'm loving this live chat. I'm going to be on here about 15 more minutes and then I've got to go, but I have enjoyed y'all so much. Yeah, she really is Wonder Woman. Hey, Victoria, she is following you, Victoria. You're her hero. I don't know if you know that or not, but you are. You are. Don't doubt me. Don't doubt me, Victoria. I wouldn't lie to you. Oh my goodness. There's Auntie Mama. Welcome in. Auntie Mama's husband just had heart surgery. He done really well, and I don't know exactly what kind of heart surgery he had, but he's recovering really well. He's doing really well. Oh, they told me that I got this call. The lady said, I got to go over something with you before you come Friday. I was like, okay. She said, now, this is what you need to do. Don't take your medications. No food after 12. I said, wait, don't take my medications? She said, you take a pain pill, don't you? I said, yeah, I take something for pain. She said, don't take that and don't take any of it. I said, well, I take it at 3 o'clock in the morning. I have to set an alarm or I won't be able to move the next day. I have to take that. And she said, and I said, I know it will slow me down if, she said, it should be okay by the time you go to surgery. So go ahead and take your 3 o'clock dose. And I said, I don't know if I'll be able to walk in the hospital if I don't take it at 3 because I've got to get ready to come up there. I said, my husband probably is not going to be happy with me. And she said, no, go ahead and take it. But she gave me the orders on what to do. I'm glad you can make it, Auntie Mama. Auntie Mama comes on early. I get her at 4:30 in the morning, which is 5:30 her time, 4:30 my time. I don't catch her every morning, but I catch her some mornings. Oh, I would love to have a golden doodle. But we can't right now because we're having grandbabies and we would have to leave that puppy. Well, we wouldn't have to if we went to Matt's because he has fur babies. But if we went on vacation or somewhere, we'd have to find somewhere for the dog to stay because everybody in the family would be going. Because Taylor's not going to let us go anywhere on vacation that she and her family's not going to go, and Matt's going to go. So I would have to put if we got another puppy, which I would love to have a poodle. We had a little toy poodle for 16 years. Nana's little fur baby is adorable. Adorable. Y'all gotta check Nana out and go over there. She's got some little short videos on her channel, and she has these lights, these orbs that come into her house sometimes, and she puts them up and like the orbs are back, like something's moving around in her kitchen. I think mostly they're in her kitchen. That's what I'm thinking. If I've watched the video, I have watched them. If I remember correctly, I think most of them are in her kitchen. Love you, Lori. Thanks for dropping by. Her name is Chloe. She's our baby, 5 years old. And she is adorable. Adorable. I want to get one so bad. At times, I thought about getting me a service dog, because of me being in a wheelchair and everything. But the thing about getting a service dog is I have to be the one to feed it always and take care of it because it's mine and it's going to be trained to be with me. And I have to be the one to, and if I was to have a relapse, in my autoimmune disease, I can't even hardly take care of myself, much less a dog, a fur baby. Actually, I found your channel and sub Nana Tank. Hooray, Chloe, and 6 years of fun. It's me, and you have a good family. Maybe someday a golden doodle. Oh, I would love it. I would love it. I see the cool kids still on the block. Well, I know I have talked about myself today, y'all. I didn't mean to take up all the time being selfish and talking about just me. I want it to be about y'all too, because I love my neighbors. I love for y'all to come in. I love for us to chat. Uh, I think it would be a good thing too. No, mostly in Georgia, garage next to the kitchen. They have gone through the doors and walls from the garage to the kitchen and outside into the garage. Yes. Yes, go over there and watch those videos. It is something else. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. But I was so attached to our little poodle. And then we had Lulu. She was our little Chihuahua dog. And when she was our last one, and she passed away about 4 years ago. And I'm not kidding y'all. I boo-hooed. Like, now I cried when Domino passed away, and the kids were, well, Taylor was still here. She was still in high school. Matt was at Ole Miss. And we cried, like, and we still talk about that fur baby. He was a part of our family, and so was Lulu. And of course, we had Labrador retrievers that James trained to retrieve ducks. So we had them too. But Lulu passed away because she and Domino stayed in the house. And when she passed away, I told James, I said, I can't take it. I can't. I can't. I can't have another one right now because it just hurt me so bad when she passed away. You know, Domino lived to be 16 years old, and for a poodle to live 16 years, that's amazing. Oh, thank you, Claudette. Thank you, Michelle. It's so hard to lose a fur baby. It is. I'm not kidding. My daughter-in-law was here, and our last lab, um, it was my daughter's. She had won him in a contest where she wrote a story about why she wanted a Labrador Retriever, and she made a magazine that took a picture of her. She won this lab in the 4th grade, and that was the last one that we had. I had one named Casper. James had one named hold on a minute. Can't even think of his name. He was solid black. Beautiful dog. He won all kind of ribbons. But anyway, yeah, I've got to the age where I just can't remember names. But when Taylor's little lab passed away, my daughter-in-law was here. And the other two had passed away that we had down there. And we let this one stay in the house. And we knew that she was old. He was old. It was a he. And he was about 10 or 11 years old. And that's living a long life for a lab. And James had to set him out that morning on the front step so he could breathe because we knew he had heart trouble. And so James went on hunting. Went hunting. He said, when I get home, I'm going to take him to the vet because we knew we was going to have to put him down. He said he should be fine by the time I get back. He's getting some air now. He can breathe. Well, my daughter-in-law was here because Matt was hunting with his dad. She walks outside to check on him, and she come back in. She didn't say anything. I didn't think that about it. I said, is he okay? And she just done her head like that. Well, the next thing I know, James is walking through the door, and I'm thinking, oh, they must have killed something. He must have got him a deer. And Haley said, Miss Angie, I couldn't tell you. And then she told me that the dog had passed away and she went out there to check on him. I broke down. I'm talking about crying like somebody in our family had passed away. She said, see why I didn't want to tell you? See why I didn't want to? I had to call James home so he could be here when I told you. I wasn't going to tell you when he wasn't here. So it's, yes, our two labs, mama and baby, so sad when they had to be put down, hurt so much. Yeah. But you don't want them to suffer. You don't want them to suffer. Hey, Trissa. How are you? Teresa? Teresa. Yeah. And I don't know if Nana's golden doodle is as smart as a poodle, but Domino, they said you could teach a poodle anything you could teach a 2-year-old toddler to do, except, talk. But Domino, he'd bark at certain things to let you know he wanted stuff. Anything you could teach a 2-year-old toddler, you can teach a poodle to do. That's how smart they are. And I don't know if Nana's is that smart, but they just come here. They are really smart. My friends have to drop from chat, but we'll leave the video running. Oh, thank you for coming in, Ari. Thank you. I'm fixing to leave. I don't usually stay on here but a couple hours, and I've been on here almost 2 hours. Yes, she is. She is the smartest dog we've ever had. She blows me away. I know, and they understand. Domino, let me tell you this story. James's sugar, since he had the gastric bypass surgery, his sugar drops in his sleep without him knowing it. Well, his sugar would drop, and Domino would start licking him on his face, waking him up out of that, with his sugar dropping because he could sense something was wrong. Well, when he would wake James up, I would start waking up thinking, what's wrong? And James would just be out of his mind. I'd have to get orange juice, peanut butter, all this stuff, candy. But he has woken James up a lot because when his sugar would drop. Thank you, Teresa. My daughter has a blue doodle, just 7 months old. Oh, and that thing is gorgeous. I saw a picture of that little fur baby. That fur baby is gorgeous, the one that Claudette's talking about. Okay, guys, I will get James to go live on YouTube if he will, to let y'all know. But if not, as soon as I get back to my self, I will be on here. Most of my mama's dogs to have them put down. She didn't have the heart, but I couldn't stand to see them in pain. Yes, exactly. We had to have a Lulu put down. She had kidney failure, but she was up in age too. We had her for years. But anyway, I will be going live again as soon as I get over my procedure. But I'm sure I'll be in the different auctions before tonight and tomorrow. But I'll let y'all know, and I love you all, and there's nothing y'all can do about it. Bye, neighbor.